The fridge where Sophie's standing, obviously it's
Lifted
just
up.
floated straight up, and the pressure.
Smashed the ceiling.
The pressure from the fridge and the water smashed the ceiling.
All the wires.
Almost a year after the record flood that devastated their Lismore home, Lennon and Sophie are still living in a caravan. They have home insurance, but like many in this flood-prone area, they couldn't afford flood coverage.
Per year, it's about $16,000 for flood insurance, so yeah, there's not many people that would be able to afford that.
While they were covered for stormwater damage, they weren't covered for the surge of floodwater from the nearby Wilsons River.
It was torrential rain all day and all night, and there was clear water under the house up to our knees already at 6 p.m. the night before, the 27th, and it wasn't stopping.
They maintain that their property was already inundated with clear stormwater before the flood surge hit.
Anything that was on the floor down here was pretty much, gone.
The couple lodged an insurance claim with Allianz, hoping it would compensate them for the stormwater damage.
The pool pumps, laundry, work shed, lawnmowers, all that stuff. All the walls downstairs had to be ripped out.
But Allianz denied the claim, commissioning a hydrologist's report which found the damage to the property was due to floodwater inundation from the Wilsons River, not stormwater.
If you hear other houses getting payouts for stormwaters and we've been denied, it's pretty heartbreaking.
Lennon's parents live right next door and had a similar policy.
Here it comes.
But in their case, Allianz reached a different conclusion, agreeing to cover stormwater damage more than 2 metres above the ground.
Our insurance company has agreed upon 200 mil above floor level and has paid our contents out for what I had it insured for.
In the next house, Michelle also had a similar policy with Allianz. The company has offered to cover her for 200 millimetres of stormwater damage, but only at ground level below her house.
We had the same hydrologist on the same day, and we have 3 different outcomes, and it's very confusing. I don't understand any of it.
There's three of us, all the same insurance, no flood cover, all different stormwater payouts.
In a statement, Allianz said it would undertake an in-depth reassessment of the hydrology reports on the 3 neighbouring properties.
There's been recent decisions or determinations from the Ombudsman finding in favour of clients who've shown photographic evidence that has been time-stamped that show that stormwater had been through the property before the floodwater had come through.
During the past 12 months, Legal Aid New South Wales has reported more than 4,000 calls for support from flood-affected residents in the Northern Rivers region. Almost half of those have been about insurance.
What we're told by our clients is, well, at least some of the damage should be covered because some of the damage was caused by something that they are actually covered for under their policy. So that's an ongoing problem, and that's probably ranks up at the top of the common issues that we see with insurance.
In the short term, we accept that people will move back into homes, but it will be very expensive to get flood cover for those homes. So I think it's incumbent upon government to understand who are these people who are forced to live in these areas, and as a community we have a conversation around what kind of support is needed to help those people find alternative accommodation eventually.
It's not just homeowners who are grappling with insurance issues. Many Lismore businesses say full flood coverage was beyond their means or not available at all.
Costs too much, too expensive.
Well, I suppose each year we go to the market looking for insurance, but the insurance companies just, what are the term they use? They deny or?
Decline.
Decline.
Decline to give us insurance for flood.
Instead, many business owners lifted their stock higher than previous flood peaks. But the record 14.4 metre flood caught many by surprise.
Our policy now is just take everything away, take it in a vehicle up to higher ground, because the major losses is in stock. The building itself, yes, it gets muddy and wet, but all the things here, all the materials here are waterproof.
Even some local councils can't get flood insurance.
Yeah, so through here there's probably about 1.5 metres to almost 2 metres of water during the 217 event, and then even higher in the 220 event.
Lismore and Tweed councils suffered tens of millions of dollars in flood damage to public facilities.
It's $30 million plus. It's a big asset, and we're looking, that's what it's going to cost us to rebuild.
Tweed Council's General Manager says it would cost millions to reinsure for flood damage, cancelling out any potential payout.
Unfortunately, our risk profile has changed from an event that might happen to a foreseeable event. So that has meant that our insurance is really not cost effective for ourselves, and we're having a look at what's the best use of public funds. And in our view as officers, the best use of public funds is to invest in a brand new asset out of the floodplain.
4 Catholic schools in the Lismore diocese may also have to move. Schools are required by law to have flood coverage, but insurers say the risk is too high without major engineering works.
Ultimately, we expect government to provide some sort of security to communities, and we always look to them to do that. And if the markets abandoned us, then we do look to government.
The insurance industry says governments need to correct the poor planning decisions of the past to fix flood insurance for the future.
We are talking to government about how we can flood-proof Lismore, how we can better protect homes, because ultimately when it comes to flood, if we can reduce the risk, insurance returns to a more normal operation.
The federal government has allocated more than $22 million to identify the biggest insurance issues in high-risk areas like Lismore. It will then try to develop measures to help make insurance more affordable over time. Meanwhile, those living in harm's way will have few options but to hope they don't get hit by another flood.
How can we live somewhere we can't get insurance for? We're just going to have to keep doing it again and again.